My name is Tim Story. I'm in the Legislative Management Program at NCSL, National Conference of State Legislatures. Been here for 20 years, and I staff the NCSL Redistricting and Elections Committee. I've been working on the redistricting issue for almost the entire 20 years, so this will be the third redistricting cycle that I'll be working, helping legislatures prepare for.
And tell us a little bit about the series that you've got planned out.
Well, as we did 10 years ago, and actually 10 years before that, we see it as part of our mission to help legislatures get ready for the once-a-decade task of redrawing all the political boundaries, both for U.S. House congressional districts and for their own state legislative districts. So we find there are a number of ways to help legislators, legislative staff, and others who might be involved in the process get ready for what is an extraordinarily complicated, complex, arcane, pick your adjective. It's a difficult issue to get your head around in a short amount of time, and it only comes around every 10 years. So NCSL has developed a package, a series of meetings, one of the things we're doing to help legislatures prepare. And each of those meetings will have a slightly different approach, and we're going to hold them in different parts of the country. They're sort of regionally based. The first one was in San Francisco, and of course we have one coming up in Chicago toward the end of October.
And why don't you tell us a little bit about the Chicago meeting? What's going to make this a little more unique than the other meetings that you're doing?
Well, we're going to make this an emphasis on redistricting technology. The technological aspect of redistricting is one of the big components. You have to understand software, databases, the data that's necessary for redistricting. You have to be prepared on the technology front before you can really even begin the actual process of redistricting. So we're going to have the software vendors there to demonstrate the products that state legislatures might want to purchase, or again, others might want to purchase, because there are many other groups that want to be part of this process. So we'll have the software vendors there. We'll have a number of legislative staff who have worked with redistricting technology give presentations about things they're preparing for the 2010 redistricting cycle. We're going to have a special session to look at websites and redistricting, and we're going to profile the Texas legislative redistricting website. They were really a front runner in terms of developing a really good web presence for redistricting in the 2000 cycle, and they have some good ideas for the 2010 cycle of redistricting. And a large part of the website is to encourage public attention and involvement in the process of redistricting. So the Chicago meeting will focus and the emphasis will be on redistricting technology, not to the exclusion of the other big area, which is redistricting law. We are going to have some sessions on the Voting Rights Act and redistricting, and we're going to be releasing our highly anticipated Redistricting Law 2010. It's commonly referred to as the Red Book. It's an extensive, comprehensive treatment of redistricting law. And if all goes as planned, we'll be handing out copies of that book, which will be, I think, over 300 pages this time around. It grows with every redistricting cycle as the law evolves and more cases are decided. So we'll be releasing that, and we'll have some other session on redistricting law. In addition to that, probably the most popular component, element of the San Francisco redistricting seminar was a redistricting simulation. So if you've never been through the process of line drawing and you'd like to actually get in and get your hands dirty and draw some lines under some somewhat realistic circumstances, we'll have a simulated redistricting project that you'll be able to work on. You'll be able to work with a committee. You'll have almost kind of a role playing where you'll take on the role of either a legislator or a key actor in the redistricting process. It's just a fantastic way, without going through the process itself, to get just a flavor of what it's all about. And it's sort of a friendly competition. We'll give away some prizes for the group that draws the best plan, and it was very instructional and I think fun for the people who did it in San Francisco.
Anything else, Tim? Any other reason that people should attend this meeting?
Well, I think it's easy to underestimate how complicated redistricting is. There are so many moving parts. The law is extremely complicated. And I know when I first started to learn about the process and learn how legislatures and the redistricting commissions do the line drawing, it was easily a year learning curve for me, if not longer. So the learning curve is pretty steep. And because most people don't have experience with it, we think this is a good opportunity in just 2.5 days, sort of like a boot camp, a basic training for redistricting, to come in and get a pretty good exposure to what this process is all about. It's a constitutionally mandated process. All the states have to do it, as again required by the U.S. Constitution for all their legislative lines, their congressional districts. So it's a task that states have to go through, an exercise they have to go through, and it takes a lot of knowledge and preparation. And now's a good time because it's about a year away. It's actually a little over a year away before states will be getting their data and really plunge into redistricting in earnest. So this is a good time to start to familiarize yourself with the terminology, the law, the software, the technology, and we think we've done a nice job of putting together sessions and programs that are compelling and interesting and helpful to get legislators, legislative staff, and others prepared, and we hope we'll have a good turnout.